Everyone, Michelle Fixit. We are changing out outlets today. So Crazy Cat Lady is going to be camera person. Here you go, Crazy Cat Lady. If you sit right here, then you can like still pass me stuff. There you are. Thank you. Hello again. All right. So faceplate off. Gloves on. Most events you want to unplug or ooh, these are gonna be bad gloves. I grabbed these from Georgetown and they're like super stuck. I think they got thrown in the washing machine and the dryer. All right. So after I get my gloves all ungunked up together, first thing you're gonna need is a flathead screwdriver, and you're going to remove the 2 bolts. So bad. Yeah, we have to go to Dollar Tree and get more gloves. These gloves are bad. All right. So because this is an older home, I prefer to change outlets while they're still alive, so that way I know if there's an issue somewhere. Typically, if you're a novice with this type of thing, 1, have better gloves than me. 2, go ahead and turn the breaker off. This is my electrical toolbox. I'm hunting for a flathead screwdriver. Be sufficient, and you can use the little zoomy features and stuff too. So when your faceplate is off, with your faceplate you'll also just use flatheads. You'll have a flathead right here, and I'll undo this one. Normally I change out all the outlets for GFCIs. That's a personal preference because some houses have grounding, some houses do not. And it's a matter of safety, because if somebody uses something that requires too much power, it'll cause a surge and the outlet will shut itself off. It does become annoying because if you have multiple GFCIs, or if there's water that gets in there or dust or anything that could cause some type of fire problem, it'll shut down the whole line. So then you just have to backtrack the line and find the one that's having the issues. In this house, I actually purchased multiple different GFCIs to try to change it out, but these are metal boxes that were put in, so they're not recessed in, and then they have a line right here. So if you look at this particular outlet, it's rather narrow. All the GFCIs are very, very wide, and even the slim fitting ones that I purchased would not fit. The black wire is going to be your positive line, the white wire is going to be your neutral line, and then there should be a green or a copper line, and that would be your ground. What you're going to do is you're going to pull it out like this, and normally you don't have that much freedom. So whoever put these in originally did a great job because they give us a lot of freedom. So now I'm looking for needle nose pliers. And my new outlet. So as I take them off, I will be putting new ones on. These are not regular outlets. These are still tamper resistant outlets. So they have this extra white piece on either side. And that way you have to give equal pressure, because that way if you have children in the home, then you don't have to worry about them sticking stuff in here. If you notice, they don't have the plastic piece on the bottom. That's because it's the ground and it holds no current whatsoever. So the silver ones are for the white line, the white wire, which is the neutral, and then the copper lines are for the black line, and that's your hot line or your active line. And so they do color coordinate it. And then you have a green screw right here for your ground, or your copper, whichever one you would have. So I put it in the right orientation. You always want to, whether it's live or not live, you always want to handle it right here. These are called the ears. They are made so that you can be able to do this without having any type of thing going on. And you undo the screw right here, which is our hot line. And you take it off. And now this will not have any charge. This will have charge though. So if you do anything with this one, it could shock you. You're gonna replace it on the next screw. And the reason there's two is if this was not going to be the end of the chain, if you needed to install another outlet, then what you would do is your next hot line would be here and it would continue down the line. All right, so we're gonna put this right here and then we're going to hold this one up and this is our neutral line. And whoever did this one was very interesting because one of the lines is in the back, which I'll show you because it's a matter of preference on which way the person did it beforehand, but you have different ways to install them. So you bend it in like this, so it has a nice little circle. Holding on to those bunny ears because as soon as this is connected, it will be charged. You're gonna look and see that the top one has the hot. So now you're going to have the top on the other side. Connect the neutral, and you just wrap it around. And then you tighten it up. Alright, and for safety's sake and for code, you grab your electrical tape. I do not suggest you guys do things exactly the way that I do it because I've been doing these for a while, but I do it barehanded because I want to make sure that if anything is not covered, especially with this being a metal box, that I'm touching as much as possible, so if something's gonna happen, I'm gonna get shocked. So for you guys, you would have the breaker turned off this whole process. And then we are gonna back up these screws, or these bolts. If it's plastic on these things, then you really don't have to worry about it too much. These are metal, so I'm having to like really mess with it to get it to come out because otherwise it'll get stuck in the tape. So now we have both of those prepped up. I always fold my tape over like that. So I'm gonna grab my razor blade, cut the excess off, start wrapping it up. And the only way you can wrap it up too much is if there's so much on here that it doesn't fit in. And this is a critical thing to do because if you don't do this, like they didn't do it all the time, and you were to have a rodent or a bug in the wrong place at the right time, this could spark or arc inside the wall, start a fire, and no one would know. And so if you're ever in your house and it smells like someone's cooking fish or burned fish, that's your first indication that you might have an electrical wire, because that's the smell that things will give off if that's going on. I typically wrap it up about 3 times. That way I know it's extra safe. A lot of other people, because the code for electrical work does not state how many times you need to do it, just that it needs to be covered. You'll have people grab one single piece of tape, they'll just flip it around, it'll come out as soon as it gets in the wall, and it's not worth anything. And then because I'm me, try to tuck it in and make it cute and tidy. Because is anyone going to see it? No, but I'm going to know that it's there. All right, and then we're just gonna bend everybody back in here. Stick this guy in. The tape is sticking out right here, so we're gonna cut that off because that was not meant to be on the faceplate. There we go. Put the first little flathead in. Put the second little flathead in. Hold them both over there. If I had my drill, which if I would have thought ahead, it would have done. It would have been done. But instead, I have to do it the cavewoman way. Slowly tighten it up. And if somewhere out there, someone can find super slim GFCIs, so I can change these over for the GFCIs that I have in the rest of the place, that would be fantastic, because I'm really not a fan of not having GFCIs in older houses. Well, GFCI that is also tamper resistant. I mean, I guess if I had to have it where it wasn't tamper resistant, I would do it, but that's my preference. Alright, that's it. There's really nothing to changing out an outlet. It's just a matter of getting things right. So I was trying to show you guys on the older style. It's the same with the newer ones, so you can either insert them in the back, so you would just stick your wire into one of these and then still tighten it down. A lot of people don't like doing that though, because if there's an excess amount of pull, then you can have the wires sticking out. So I found it to be highly unusual that one side was curly cued over and the other side was inserted. For the rest of the time, you just basically make the wire into a C, you put it on there, and then you tighten it up, make sure it's secure, then wrap it up. That's it. All right, so we have 3 other ones to do, and we don't have faceplates. We're going to have to go to Home Depot and get faceplates, so hopefully we can get that done tonight, because normally I carry extra faceplates, but I do not have any in here. All right, back to my goo. I'll put my gooey gloves on once I get in the other space. Is there stuff in front of that one? Oh, and my electrical tape. And plug stuff back in. And test for power. We have green, so that one is powered up. And my keys because I will leave them. I could squeeze around that guy. Just didn't know how far he was. Oop. Oh yeah, that's gotta get more squished over. All right. go. Same thing over here. Faceplate off. Flathead screwdriver, which I should not have put back into the thing. Oh, there it is. Again, this is your reminder that normally you should have the breaker flipped off. You guys don't know whether it's flipped off or not, but it's something that you should be doing. I am taking a risk. Do not do as I do. I do it with a specific reason and rationale in mind, because this is an older home and I want to know if anything is going to be compromised inside the wall. Because I have had instances where things are compromised, where the second that the outlet comes out, turns out that there was an old wire inside the wall, it sparked and arced, and then boom, bang, what do you know? There's a disconnect. And it would have been taking off half of the wall, because if I would have just kept it going, it would have shorted out and it would have caused a house fire. So, just a matter of what you're going to be doing with stuff. Yep, and see, this one feeds the line over there, which is why you see 2 white lines, and we'll see 2 black lines. And we'll put our nasty gloves back on, because I need more gloves. And I know there's going to be somebody out there that's going to say, oh, your gloves, and oh, you're doing this, and oh, you're doing that. And it's the internet. Everyone, whoop, that was my little thingy. It buzzed. No, it was my thing. I had my thing in my shirt. It wasn't the outlet. Alright, let me pull this guy. I've also had one pop in my face because it was actually a 220 that was wired up into a 110, which means that it had enough power to really hurt someone. And had I not been doing what I was doing the way that I was doing, probably would have been that someone got electrocuted by it. Oh, we need one of the outlets. They're over there in the bucket, I think. Oh. Here's your up close and personal. This will be a surprise video because I won't know what it looks like until later. Crazy Cat Lady did a video at the gas station. Turned out to be super duper cute. Thank you. Alright, here you go. And you can do the pinchies and the zoomies and all that stuff. And preventatively, I'm going to undo these guys so I don't have to deal with my finger in a minute. So you just put a little bit of pressure on the bolt while you undo it. The gloves make it sticky and very annoying. The gloves are very sticky and annoying. So you just grab it like that, push it, line up your screwdriver, undo it. Yeah, it goes faster the other way. But it's a lot less fast if I was to have it all connected, especially with all these extra wires and stuff. Well, it's just a keeper, just so that you're not playing with the bolt. So if it falls off on the floor, your outlet's not compromised, it will be fine. It has nothing to do except for convenience. Those things are even like rubbing off on stuff. Life is not always entertaining. It can be slow. I see you guys getting bored. Maybe not. Some people are watching like shopping cart videos, just wandering around in Dollar General. Or I haven't been into a Dollar General, Dollar Tree. All right, now we are prepped and ready. See, and it's good that we kept this going because otherwise you guys would have known how to change out a regular one, but not this one. All right, so if you guys notice right here, this is the copper line. Copper line is ground. This one is in an awkward position. So you're gonna disconnect it first because it is the reason why I can't pull this outlet out very far. So it will come out first and be the last one to go in, because now look, cha, everybody comes out. And these guys right here, these are electrical nuts. And so with them, just like how we wrapped up the outlet, we should be wrapping and coating those guys too. So I'm gonna have to like scooch everybody over here a smidge so that I can get to these guys and wrap them up a little bit, because otherwise they get twisted, moved around too much, they can cause problems. And you won't know, because you'll be on the outside and they'll be on the inside, and they'll be causing a whole big ruckus, and you're gonna be like, why does it smell like fish in my house? Well, because you got some kind of problem going on. Saw a little article today on social media about recognizing the signs of a stroke. This is your recognizing the signs of an electrical fire. If you smell fish and you haven't been cooking fish, something may be going on inside your walls. Like the FAST acronym for strokes, which is face, it's like FAST. F stands for face, because if you're having a stroke, one side of your face will droop, the other side of your face will not. The A, I think the A is for act, as far as acting quickly. S is speech. So if you ask someone to say a simple sentence, the dog is brown, and they say, and they look at you in a serious face, that means that they're probably having a stroke, because their brain is telling them that they're saying the dog is brown, and instead it's coming out as gibberish. Or if they say different words than the words that you just said to them with a serious face, they're probably having a stroke. So that's the S. And the T is for time. I think I have the A wrong. Oh, arms is A. So you ask them to put their arms up, and if they go to put their arms up or they can't do it at all and they drop, then that's a sign of stroke. Or if they try to put their arms up and only one comes up and the other one just drops down, or only one works and they're looking at you all confused, that's a sign of stroke. Sign of an electrical issue, smells like fish in your house for no reason. All right, and as we did before, we're going to flip this. Now this one is a little bit more complicated. I'm not sure what they did, truthfully. Only the electrician would know what they did, or somebody that is further into the wall or something like that. Two of these black guys are feeding power for the power coming in and the power going out. The two white guys over there connect with them for the power going in and the power coming out. Sorry, husband cat. The blue wire, I don't know. Electricians back in the day had some interesting stuff that they were doing. So it could be part of a three-way for somewhere in the house. Three ways exist for electrical stuff. It could be a feeder line for, I don't know, a bunch of stuff. It could be a power line for the outlet for the other one, and somehow they bypass something and then connect it with the white guy that still is connected to the box. There's so many different variations of what that could be. So, since it is complex, we are going to just do exactly what they did. And there was a little spark. Did you guys see it? I saw it because I forgot that it was going to do that. It's like, I'm alive. We might lose power. Nope. Alright, so that has nothing to do with in here. So this guy is going to go over here. Tighten him up. Know that in the future someone's going to grump at me for doing this live. Really wishing I had my drill. I hate manually having to tighten things in. It's just very obnoxious. If you're working on getting tools, that should be your first thing you do is get a drill. Get a basic toolbox and get a drill. Undo this guy. This guy has double guys. I don't know why. I'm going to replicate what is here because I do not want to compromise whatever electrical current it is somewhere else. So this guy is going to get bent up here for a moment. And then the guy that's in the back is going to get pulled out. And then we're going to push these guys, which don't have the white guys, over here. And very carefully connect. We're going to push through in the back if we can find it. No, we are not, because that one does not have the back one. Oh, no, it does. Visibility is not really that great over here. Oh, yeah. Let me borrow that because I gotta use the light for it. You never know what you're going to get when you're working on something. Good job. Let there be light. No, it's supposed to be a push through. Normally, like I said, I normally do my GFCIs. Hot wire, release wire. Yeah, it should be sticking in there. It's probably a thicker gauge. Like I said, this is an older house, so it may just be that the gauge of wire is too thick. So I'm gonna have to find a way to get that guy to connect in. Some of them right here, they have a flapper, so then it'll pinch it in. This one does not, so I'm gonna try to force it a little bit more, and if that doesn't work, then I may have to do a circle as well, or a C, do 2 C's. It's like if someone only does new construction, they're like, oh yeah, everything's always perfect in new construction. Yeah, check back on it in like 10 years or 50. Because houses are old and temperamental. And even the new ones have problems. They get little pop lines and everything. Yeah, that gauge is too big. Alright, so make a C. One C with another C. There's one C. Oh, I know, it's not as fanciful as it could be, but you know, this house is, I think this one is a 1940. And you want to make sure everything is tight and not going to move. So I was told that this house is one of the dollar houses. I could not verify that. I verified a traditional loan on the house. But I can clearly make statements that the family that lived here before, did a lot of the work themselves. No, we'd have to do that the other way and secure it. Since this is braided wire, not a huge fan of. I want to make sure that the braided wire sits in after the solid. I know, Sparky. You don't want to come out. You're much happier that way. But you had to make friends with this guy. As you guys can work together. And I'm having issues because I have sticky gloves on. There we go. Tucking everybody in. Nice and happy. And we get our other little guy. Make him nice and happy with his little braided friends. Pinch them on there together. Come on. There we go. Okay, this is ridiculous. And we just gotta like tuck him right here. Make sure he's popped in right there. If everybody's not secure, you get mobility inside the wall. Mobility inside the wall is not a good thing. Haha. There we go. Nice, tight, happy. If everybody stays that way while I swim in, you do great. Tighten. Pacha! All right. And I'm hoping that one of these white guys is thinner than those guys so that I'll be able to stick them in the back. Time will only tell. This guy visually, or this guy looks thinner gauge, so maybe they'll be sticking in the backs because I really don't want to do this on the second one. Very, very, very obnoxious. Orientation was here, so this guy is this guy. You want to do whatever the top one is on the top side for the other one, so on and so forth. This one they actually did to be an O instead of a C. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to like pry him. The C's are better for getting things on there. And some people make an O, so then it becomes like this, and then you have to bend out one of the sides to pop them out. It's all just like large scale arts and crafts. So now I have to open him up a little bit so he will more easily place on here. And I think the reason they used blue was so that whomever was putting this stuff in here knew that that was his main power line. Now that I'm digging around in this. Most of the time, there's a rhyme or a reason why somebody did something. Either from lack of experience or as a note of, hey, if this outlet has issues in the future, this is your main line, so we're going to make it a different color. I'll do the same with like electrical tape. So if you see like electrical tape on, this is so annoying. If you see electrical tape on something, again, if you see black and red together, that's typically an indication that one of those lines is a double, or it could be that those are for hardwired smoke alarms. Let's see, because this guy was an O and now he's a C, he is being a butt. He does not want to smush in with his new place. Hmm? What?
No, she said I could sit down if she wanted.
Oh. And I know, You guys are here for outlets, and I just talk a bunch. But I'd be having this conversation in my head. You guys just get the extra bits. But as it turns out from some of my videos, you guys seem to like the extra bits. So, there. Alright, this one. This outlet is getting all yucked up. These gloves look so bad. Alright, and these are both on the second end. Since I think this one is thinner than the other one, I am going... That should not still have the ability to spark. And again, this is why I keep things powered. Because for some reason, whomever did this decided to color code in the opposite of what it should be. Because the white line is supposed to be the neutral that does not have this shocky ability. And the fact that I am undoing just the white guys and the black guys are up here and the black guys are supposed to be the hot guys, that means that these white guys are hot guys. And that's not good because it's not supposed to be that way. Just so you guys know. Okay, that, yeah. So I am going to put a little black piece of electrical tape on here so that maybe the future person or me in the future will know this guy is a hot guy in disguise because he's not supposed to be there. It's wrong. Because even if the previous guy was colorblind, like, see? You see that? That is white. White is not supposed to do the sparkies. No sparkies. And that means that this guy is a black guy, and that guy has to be a white guy. And you would have never known that. You would have never known, and somebody is going to try to like tear into that and put it somewhere else, and they're not going to know. Oh, goodness. So I have no idea. All I know is that this guy has shocky potential. He's going to be straightened out. We're going to try to stick him in here. On the other side. Try. Keyword. Yeah, he's thinner gauge. He's going in. Undo the screw a little bit more. Blows my mind when I see people wire things in reverse. Because it has the potential to shock somebody. If it's not set up right. Or if you're doing another outlet and you just assume that that had to be correct. Sometimes we assume things are correct and they're not correct. And these guys are also a pain in the butt for getting them out of things. Oh, good grief. All right. Sticky gloves. All right. There's that. It's going to get all sparky when I change it. See? You see my sparkies? Now these in. We tighten them up. Sticky gloves. Very annoying. I know you don't want to tighten all the way, but I want you to be as tight as possible. And you do want to check yourself while you're doing it because this one is slightly backing off, which means I'm going to make him into a little bit of an O as well, so that he doesn't have the ability to do that. This is one of those like take your time, pay attention to what you're doing type situations. And anyone in a hurry would not have noticed that. Alright, there you are. Come on. I know. Garbacotis, garbacotis. Spark, spark, spark. You're not supposed to be sparky. There we go. Alright, and now we get to put our ground back on. So, ground is the copper guy right here. He's not going to have any charge. I don't know why he made him so short. I wish I had a piece of copper to make him longer, because that's going to be very obnoxious in the future, and I don't. I normally keep extra bits. Oh wait, I do. So this is called a pigtail. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two guys together, and then I'm going to attach them right there, and so that way it's an elongated copper line, so that if he has an issue in the future, you want to have, you're stupid. These guys you can use instead of these. These are wire nuts. They have like a little spirally thing in the inside. You line the two wires up together, you forcefully squish them. These guys are also to code. You basically just shove it in there, it bites it. Technically you're not supposed to have to use tape. I still use tape just because good habits. And now this guy is secured, and then I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I straighten him out, shove him in. They are way more expensive than the wire nuts, but I mean, they're way easier and they make a really good secure space. They are kind of a pain in the butt to take off, but that's because they're super duper 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 safe and secure. So you just grab your little guy, shove him in there, let him take a bite. Well, you gotta straighten him out the rest of the way. He's a little kinked up. Oof. Bam. Almost. There we go. See? Now they're friends. I put a little electrical tape on him because why not? He technically doesn't need electrical tape because he's a little guy. He also technically doesn't need electrical tape because he holds no current. But in the event that there is a short wiring, which is the whole reason you have your ground, then he would end up having current because he would be doing his job of making sure that it gets dispersed somewhere else. So, with all those ifs and would be, could be, whatevers, we do this just to make sure. Because rare things do happen. Cha-cha. And now we get this guy, we turn him into a little C, and we put him on there. He will be able to come out all the way the other guy did. He will be happier for it. either I or someone else in the future will be happier for it too. I have to make sure that I have little extra snippets of wire in my box at other times. All right, now we are at the point of electrical tape. I reserve the super small ones for very confined spaces, so since he is able to come out of his box so much, I'm not reserving it for him right now. Ugh, some of that glove stuff is right there. And we are wrapping it up. Cut off the excess. Smush in the rest. Go, and now we get to have fun shoving the wires back in the box. Alright, and now since we are close enough, we screw this guy in. Make sure we don't feel anybody sticking out. We get this guy. Screw him in. He may not be the right one because he doesn't want to go in. Alright, I'm gonna take this guy out because I think he went to the other one for something else. Maybe. He should be the right guy. Oh, yeah, that's the, that was a mounting guy for the old one, so it could be, I might have to use him. Thank you, Crazy Cow Lady. Yeah, those guys are substantially shorter than these guys, these new guys. And when you have one that's like this, and it's super tight, you're gonna go side to side. Trying to make sure both are smushed in equally. So otherwise you can end up binding up something on one side. And then you give it a separate smush like that. There we go. So they don't have as many wires in there. It's not as much of a problem. But man, oh man, does it become a problem the more wires you stick in there. Because this guy is not an end of the chain. He is responsible for 3 things, technically. Outlet we just changed out, somebody else further in the line, and himself. He's like a mommy outlet. Mommies are always responsible for a bunch of stuff. Alright, and then tuck this in just a hair. I'm going to make sure that whenever I get the outlet cover on there, it'll be okay. All right, there's a second one. And now we have 3 and 4. Let me see what time it is. I need to get covers. What?
Taste it.
Saturday they should still be open. Well, she's got whatever this goes to.
My TV.
You have to do equal pressure. They're very annoying. Hola, c'est magnifique power. Alright, I think we're gonna just do these 2 videos, or these 2 outlets together. Run and grab outlet covers before they close, and then we'll come back and we're gonna do those 2. And another set of gloves, because I'm red-handed. Alright, let me time them out. Oh wow, that was a long time. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it, and then you guys will get another video on how to change out outlets over there, because the gloves are, you guys can't tell, but they're making it where like everything is all sticky. Because if I do the other 2 outlets, I won't have time to get the faceplates. So yeah, faceplates. So those will be completed videos.